Welcome back to another episode of Queen Convos, Life Goals for the Queen in You podcast. I am so happy that you are here joining me this week. If you are listening on your favorite podcasting platform, thank you so much for tuning in, as you always do, or even if this is your first time, thank you. If you are listening and watching, quote unquote, on YouTube, thank you so much. And go ahead and subscribe for me because you are here for a reason, all right? So let's go ahead, let's not waste any time, and let's jump in to our Queen Quote of the Week. If you don't know what our Queen Quote of the Week is, it is our weekly affirmation that we say to ourselves, just something to keep us going and moving and shaking, okay? For this week, it says, "It's never too late to become great." Okay, I mean, the rhyming was unintentional, but baby, it's never too late to become great. Okay, even if we want to take it back biblically, I mean, Moses didn't really become great or living up to his full potential or his assignment in life till he was about like 90. Don't quote me on that, but he was up there. Okay, it's never too late to become great. Do what you have to do to achieve your level of greatness, and it will all work out, baby. It's never too late. So I'm gonna repeat it again so you can memorize it, write it on the tablets of your heart. And it says, "It's never too late to become great." And that is your Queen Quote of the Week. So for our royal tea time today, I wanted to bring up something that I saw on social media. I believe it was Instagram, and I was just appalled almost, okay, flabbergasted. But then it got me to thinking. But let me tell you what the post said. So the post said, "Moesha's dad was literally the worst black TV dad ever." What? Hold up. We not going to disrespect Frank Mitchell like that, okay? He had a lot of things going on. He was trying to do his best, okay? He was a single father until his wife D came into the picture. So I'm gonna need them to pump the brakes. I think that is a stretch. But that led me to think of some of my favorite black TV dads. And I had to write a list. There was like literally a lot. So I'm going to just read them off, and you let me know if you agree with me or if I miss a dad that was like top tier. And this list is in no particular order. It's just what I was jotting down as I thought about it. Okay, so let's get into the list. Uncle Phil, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, period. We all know and love Uncle Phil, okay? Heathcliff Huxtable from The Cosby Show. I don't care what you say about Bill Cosby and everything about the man. We talking about like Heathcliff Huxtable, okay? We talking about the Huxtables. Cosby Show was lit. That was like one of the first introductions of, I guess, the millennial generation of just like, top tier. James Evans from Good Times. If y'all have never seen Good Times, are you living under a rock or something? I want to say that because I know we have some younger queens out here who may not even heard of Good Times. But if you have never heard of Good Times, go look up Good Times. Go watch you a couple episodes. And James Evans, he top tier for me. Then we have Charles Thorne from Half and Half. Now, y'all may not have seen Half and Half, but Half and Half I thought was a good show. And the dad, even though he probably like started off rocky and you probably wouldn't think like, oh, I don't know about him, but he ended up actually learning. And that's what makes me put him on this list because of the growth. Next, Daryl Hughley from the Hughleys. I mean, it's DL Hughley, and you know he's just going to be him within this character. So, you know, that's what it is. Joe Carmichael from the Carmichael Show. Oh my gosh, like he is hilarious. Shout out to David Allen Greer because he played the heck out of that dad. He played the heck out of that dad character, okay? Funny. Speaking of funny, we have Michael Kyle from My Wife and Kids. I mean, he's up there. He's definitely up there. Life lessons, comedy, everything. One of my favorites. Then we have Robert Peterson from The Parenthood. Do y'all remember The Parenthood? I mean, he's also up there, like with just teaching the life lessons, giving you a little comedy. It was just very like good, wholesome TV. I like that. Then we have Julius Rock from Everybody Hates Chris. Now, come on. Y'all know, regardless of how you feel about Terry Crews, Julius was one of the top tier TV dads just because of his hustle, how he was working and providing and still was like, okay, we count on these cents, penny pinching, okay? Love that. Ray Campbell from Sister. Come on. If y'all know me, y'all know how I feel about Sister. I love Sister. And I loved all of the actors and actresses in that series. But Ray Campbell, if we're talking about black TV dads, Ray Campbell, man, you got to put him up there. You have to. Can't leave him out. Then you have Pops from the Wayans Brothers. Pops, man, there's like just nothing to say. There's nothing to say. Hilarious, and just doing his thing. Flex Washington. Flex from One on One. Love that too. And it's the same thing with Charles Thorne on 101. It's the growth and development of like parenting and being a black father, raising a child, raising children. I love that. And you can't forget Uncle Bernie from the Bernie Mac Show. Come on. Would this list be complete without Bernie Mac? Come on. No, it would not. Top tier TV dad. Then you have Andre Johnson from Blackish. I mean, that's more of the recent ones and relevant ones, but I think we can all agree, top tier. Funny, also life lessons, and just figuring out, navigating. Love that. And the last one on my list, obviously, I already talked about him, was Frank Mitchell. I mean, I already said what I'd say about Frank Mitchell. I loved Moesha. I loved the series. I loved him in the dad role because he was still stern, yet loving and a hard worker, providing. Yes, did he make mistakes? Absolutely. But look at your house and tell me if your dad made mistakes. Oh, okay. Just let y'all know. But to me, the worst TV dad, even though he was on only for half a second, was Will Smith's father. Okay, period. That's my list. That's what I'm sticking to. Period. Y'all let me know in the comments if I forgot any black TV dad. If I did, it was not intentional. But as you can see, this list was long enough. But yes, just let me know in the comments and let me know who is your favorite black TV dad. Now you know what time it is. Baby, your majesty awaits. It's time for the majesty moment. For our majesty moment this week, if you read the title of this episode, you know I am giving you a gastric sleeve update. Okay, I mean, if you haven't listened to any of my other episodes, go ahead and listen to it. I briefly mention it from time to time here and there. But yes, long story short, I actually got the gastric sleeve, and I am recording this on my 1 week post-op. Okay. And yes, so I'm just going to give you all, the little details and how everything was going and how things progressed. But before I get into that, I know that there will be people, and let me just tell you that I do not care, but I'm just addressing it before the melee, right? I know that there are people that will say, what? Gastric sleeve? Like, all you have to do is just work out and eat good, and having the gastric sleeve is just taking the easy way out. I don't think or respect how you chose to go about losing weight. First of all, one did not ask you. Two, there is nothing, and I mean nothing, easy about this process. Not one thing is easy about this process. And just because you may be gifted in all of your genetic abilities to eat garbage and eat like you have no home training and still be able to lose weight, others are not as fortunate, okay? So that's what I want to say. From the 6-month classes to the actual surgery to the recovery to the lack of food, baby, nothing, and I repeat, nothing is the easy way out for when it comes to the gastric sleeve, gastric bypass, whichever surgery that you choose. And no one, and I repeat, if you're listening out here and you are thinking about doing it, don't let anyone's opinion dictate whether you do it or not. Do it for you and you alone. Point blank, period. Don't let society and people who are not living a day in your shoes tell you what to do about your life and your health and your well-being. I just had to put that out there as a disclaimer because, and even if people say that, guess what? I don't care. Luckily, no one has really said that to me. And if they're thinking it, that's fine. I'm not controlling your thoughts, but I just want to put that out there just so we are clear where I stand and we know what we're doing. Okay, we see each other, right? And before I even go into like the whole process and everything like that, I want to really say something about fat shaming. Now, what we are not going to do is talk about people and their bodies and if they're fat or if they're skinny. Like, what? Are we still on that? I mean, it's 2023 and we still talking about people? Wow. Get a life. Get an actual life, okay? Have a couple of seats and sit down in abundance, all right? It's weird. And if someone is heavier set, they are plus size, they are whatever you want to call it, full figure, BBW, whatever it is, and they are healthy and they are confident and they are doing the doggone thing, and they like and love who they are and how they look, who are you? Who are you to say anything about how they should go about their lives? You have no right, okay? Nor should you have the audacity to say anything or comment on their lives if it's not positive, okay? But on the other hand, now, okay, so let's talk about that. But on the other hand, if you are bigger than what you want to be and you are not healthy at the size and the weight that you are, and you are not confident and love yourself about at the size that you are right now, then is where I would say maybe it's time to explore options to get you to a place of loving yourself and being great and confident in your own skin and deserving the body and the life that you want for yourself. That's all I would say on that. But if people are big and loving it and beautiful and confident and they don't care and healthy, come on now, let them be and keep it moving. Which kind of segues into why I decided to get the gastric sleeve in the first place. And top reason for me, top reason was my health. Baby, I feel like my my health rap sheet, like how many pages could this rap sheet be, right? You know how people have criminal rap sheets, but my health rap sheet, man, from everything, like from diabetes to PCOS to thyroid to high blood pressure to anemia. I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff, okay? It has been a struggle and been a struggle my entire life. So it's like I don't really know or remember a life without all of these conditions. And for me, once I turned 30, I said, I cannot live my 30s like I lived my 20s and my teens. Something has to be done, okay? I'm taking way too many medications. I'm on way too many prescriptions. I am literally just like operating with like the pharmaceutical reps on my back, right? I'm just like, just pumping myself with a lot. So I said, if I want to have children in the future, I want to be my best and healthiest self, I have to make a change. But I also realized that making this change or trying to lose weight, it would take me years, literally maybe even a decade, to lose the weight that I need to lose to be healthy without the assistance, because all of those things, oh yeah, I forgot, like insulin resistance, all of these things literally store fat, trap fat in you. So you could be working out every day, which I was working out every day, and you see the scale move, what, a pound? Maybe even 2, but nothing significant and nothing sustainable. And the goal is to be healthy and stay healthy. And I knew I had to make a change, and I knew that this was a way to help me make the change and for it to be long lasting and sustainable for me. And I made the decision on my own. I kind of consulted my husband, but I really wasn't looking for approval. I really wasn't, because like I was saying earlier, I have to live in this body. I didn't like the way I looked, felt, and was moving around here in these streets. Like it was bad. And the pandemic just really magnified my habits. It magnified it and sped up the inevitable. So I decided to have the gastric sleeve surgery. And I will talk about my full journey like later on if you guys are interested. And if you're interested, go ahead and leave me comments. Say, yeah, I want to know like your whole process from the beginning to end. And I'll dedicate an entire episode to that. But now this is just, sped up to where we at currently. So I had to do the pre-op diet, and I did talk about my pre-op diet in a couple episodes ago, I think, at some point sprinkled around there in one of these episodes. So let's get to the day before surgery. The day before surgery. Oh my goodness. The day before surgery, I was just I don't know. I always get like this. I over obsess about things. I'm like, oh my goodness, what if there's something in my blood work when they take my blood work that's going to stop me from getting the surgery? What if my liver didn't shrink enough during the pre-op diet phase and that he has to stop the surgery? And oh my goodness, I would be like devastated and all of that stuff. All these things running through my head, okay? Running through my head, and I don't know why. Like, my husband was like, look, I mean, the time is here. It's here. There's nothing really else that you could do right now that's going to change the situation one way or the other. So, like, stop worrying about it. Stop stressing about it. And I was like, okay. And then I watched a couple YouTube videos of people's journey, and that kind of like made me feel better a little bit, to the point where I can actually maybe like go to bed. And that's what I did. I woke up around 4:00. I had to be at the hospital by 6:30, and my surgery was 8:30. And I did everything that they told me to do, got that together. They weighed me, and I'm going to go through all of my weight stuff, at the end, and insert some stuff. So like, if you're watching on YouTube, you will probably see, a lot of things inserted as I am speaking, just so you can get like a visual what's going on. If you are listening on your favorite podcasting platform, just go ahead and hurry on over to YouTube so you can see what I am talking about. So anyway, got there, surgery, got checked in, everything like that. Everything was fine. Everything went well. Beforehand, then they started like the anesthesia. So the last thing that I remember was they had me on like the gurney or whatever it is, the little rolly bed, right? They had me on a rolly bed. I told them I had to use the bathroom, so they allowed me to use the bathroom like on our way to the OR. And when I got back onto the bed, they said, okay, I'm going to give you something to relax. And that's all I remember. Once they said, I'm going to give you something to relax, I'm like, okay. And that's it. Lights out. I did not dream. I did not anything. Like, literally. I had an anesthesia before. And sometimes you feel like you're in the twilight zone. I didn't feel anything this time, which was crazy to me. So the next thing I remember is trying to wake up. I kind of was able to open my eyes a little bit and glance at the time on the wall, and it was like 12:30. And I really couldn't comprehend anything. But if my surgery was at 8:30, my surgery was at 8:30. I was told he was done by about 10, and it's now like 12:30, and I'm still trying to wake up. So maybe you can see how this is going. Long story short, baby. Long story short, that whole day, that entire day, I was literally in and out of sleep, drowsiness. I couldn't keep my eyes open for anything. I had visitors. My mom was there. My husband was there. My dad was there. My bonus mom was there. So yeah, I had a good amount of visitors, but I really couldn't say anything or do anything to them. Or do anything with them, because I was just out of it. Doctors were coming in, nurses were coming in, and I was just out of it. I even told one of the doctors, I said, I'm sorry, I'm usually more engaging than I am right now. I was literally like sleep, but awake. And everything made me nauseous. People talking made me nauseous. Everything made me nauseous. I tried to get up to start walking like they suggested. Baby, no. Dizzy, nauseous. I had to sit back down, and I was in so much pain, like the gas pain. Now, I don't know what I expected for the pain to be, because people will say, yeah, the gas pains. I'm just thinking about, okay, well, I experience gas pains. Everybody experiences gas pains. You could just, ride that out and it'll be okay. No. No, I believe these are CO2 pains. These are literally gas pains. Baby, I just wasn't prepared for that, okay? And I was to the point where I was saying, yo, just put my stomach back. Just put my stomach back. Put my stomach back, because this is not it. Obviously, they cannot do that. But it was difficult. It was very difficult that first day, like right out of surgery. And obviously, he had major surgery. Like this is like my first time having major surgery. So obviously, I just didn't know what to expect or how to feel. I just had to keep reminding myself. But I just want to get up and get better and just get better and keep, keep this train rolling. But I've learned, and I'm learning, that you have to give yourself time. You have to be patient with the process of healing, which leads me into the days following. So I started feeling better about like 2:00 a.m. the next morning. And I just started feeling better. I was able to walk around. I was able to drink. I was able to, drink water and whatever else they was giving me. I didn't feel any pain, only the gas pains, but I just kept trying to walk it out, burp it out, and, try to do whatever they told me to do to get the gas pains out. And I was just doing that. So from that point on, like, I was good. And I stayed in the hospital for 2 nights, 3 days, 2 nights, because one, my blood pressure was just like out of control, because like just the stress of the surgery, the stress of, everything, it was just really elevating my blood pressure. And then two, once that was under control, then my glucose levels, they were like elevated. And I told him, I said, maybe it's because of the regular Gatorade y'all told me to drink before surgery. Y'all told me I couldn't drink like the diet version. So that's what happened, because my glucose levels were like beautiful prior to the surgery. So long story short, once that got down under control, then I was able to leave. Hey y'all, so I am out of the hospital. I just giving you all an update. Got my gastric sleeve surgery, and I'll tell y'all more about my experience, but just letting you know that I am out of the hospital. I stayed in there 2 days, 2 nights, 3 days, and so I'm out. I'm outside now, and I'll show y'all. Maybe I'll show y'all everything. Show y'all my my incisions and everything like that. Yeah, I'm just happy to be out. A little nervous, but still, now it's on me. It's on me to do what I gotta do. And I'm just gonna keep doing what I've been doing prior to the surgery. You know what I mean? These past couple of weeks, just keep following a regimen. Period. All right, y'all. I will see y'all on the next update. So the thing is, it was good. I was getting pain meds through my IV and everything. I was walking, I was a lapping. If you ask the people at Christiana Care on the 7th floor, you ask about me, I was lapping that floor. Okay. I was just, people was like, oh, you showing off. I said, I'm trying to get out of here. So yes, I was like doing the doggone thing. Then when it was time to be discharged from the hospital and they took out my IV where they giving me everything from, I just started feeling like, ooh, wait a minute. It's like you don't have your security blanket anymore. And then things start to wear off. Pain meds start to wear off. Everything start to wear off. Then you're like, ooh, now I'm feeling it a little bit. I'm feeling some things. And I think I overdid it that day. I really did. Like I was walking. I was going everywhere, but I underestimated how fatigued I would be, because before the surgery, I didn't condition my body, train my body, been in the gym 5 days a week, like was nothing. Walking was nothing to me, but now it's something. And even going up the stairs, it was draining me. And to top it all off, a couple days before the surgery, I got my menstrual cycle. And full disclosure, I haven't had a menstrual cycle since maybe 2020, September 2020, right? So I guess like my body's saying, okay, girl, I see you trying to get yourself together. So let me go ahead and drop this menstrual cycle on you. So I was dealing with that and the effects of surgery and trying to recover, which I think added a level of lethargy and fatigue. As far as what I was eating during this week, I started off on the 2-day clear liquid diet. So I had protein waters, what I was drinking, broth that I pre-made and froze in ice cube trays before I got into surgery. So I was kind of prepared on that front and just trying to drink water, trying to get in fluids. On the first couple days, I didn't do so well with trying to get all the fluids. And I said, oh no, I have to make a change. So I kind of shifted my thought process, and I've been able to get in like my fluid count. I have to have at least 48 to 64 ounces of fluid per day. And so I just try to get in at least 3 bottles of water a day. And I try to do it like 2 hours per bottle of water to kind of give me that room to get everything in. So after the 2-day liquid diet, I was able to introduce my protein shakes again. I was able to introduce like cream of chicken soups and things like that, but do a strainer, so it was none of the chicken pieces or anything like that in it, just the broth of it. And I was doing well with that. And then I also was able to introduce like cream of wheat, but very thin cream of wheat. And I only had like one mishap, which was when I made the cream of wheat for the first time, right? I really wasn't, not that I wasn't thinking, but I really didn't know how much my new stomach could hold at one time. So the individual packages of cream of wheat, they're about like an ounce of dry before you start mixing it in like with water and whatnot. And then I poured in like a good amount of water. That had to be about like 4.5 ounces of water that I poured in to mix in with it. And so I was eating it, no problem. Went down, no problem. Then I started to feel like pressure, like in my chest, and like as it was going down, it started to become more difficult to go down. But I just kept eating because I'm looking for the signals. Like my stomach used to tell me that you're full. When it's like, oh my goodness, oh, I'm full, let me stop eating. But I come to realize very quickly that is not the sign to look for now with my new and improved stomach, the sign to look for, I guess, for me is like when it starts to become kind of like tight and uncomfortable for your food to go down. That's when you have to stop. That's when you know that, boom, you're full. Like nothing can go down there. But baby, for 30 minutes, I lied to you not, for 30 minutes, it was just like, it felt like it was trying to come back up and then go back down, come back up and go back down. I was like, do I have to call the doctors? Do I have to call the emergency hotline? Because it was like, it was bad. It was very uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable. And I was like, oh my gosh, did I mess everything up? And then I went and researched like, okay, well, how many ounces can your stomach hold now? And it's only 2 to 4 ounces. So I was like, oh my gosh, I really went overboard, right? So needless to say, I never made that mistake again. During this past week, I have a food scale. So exactly, things just weren't clicking at that time. So I measured it out the next day that I had the cream of wheat or even just the soups or whatever. And I measured about 3 ounces. I feel like the 3 ounces is a good, healthy median or a medium for just to see how my stomach reacts. And 3 ounces is good for me. Sometimes I might finish a little bit less than the 3 ounces, but that's fine. As long as I'm in that pocket right there, like it's been good. So I haven't had any issues with that. And for my protein shakes, I drink the Ensure Max Protein. I really enjoy those protein shakes. And honestly, those are probably one of the only ones that I can take down. I like the Premier, but the Ensure just gives me a little bit of oomph, right? I probably put it on the screen so you could see it just to see what it looks like. That's my go-to. I still have Premier, but the Ensure is my go-to. So that's what I drink. I drink 2 of those, try to get 2 of those in along with some other type of protein, but I haven't really gotten all the way there yet because I'm supposed to be having 70 grams really. So I'm working my way up to that, and I know I'll be able to hit it with no problems. So that's pretty much how my first week went post-op. And the thing that I'm dealing with right now is still a little bit of the bloating and some shoulder pain. I'm thinking it's gas pains that is trapped in there. So I'm trying to do some things to get that out. Yeah, so that's really what I'm dealing with right now. So I know at this point in time, people are like, well, girl, what's your weight? What do you weigh? So, yeah, let's get into that. So I'll put everything on the screen, but my highest recorded weight for myself, Jesus, was 313 pounds. I know. Trust me. I went through all the emotions, all the feels. I might even put a picture of what that looked like at that time. So my surgery weight was 280 pounds. That's what they recorded on their scale. My scale was different because I weighed myself with my clothes off, and obviously I had my clothes on. So there's a little bit of difference, but still nothing major. So 280 is what is recorded as my weight at the time of surgery, which was great because I was working my behind off to get that weight off from 313. And just for some context, I'm only 5'2". Even though I feel taller, my body was saying, girl, you are 5'2". You can't be carrying all of this weight on you. Our body is not used to this. So yes, highest weight, 313, surgery weight, 280, and 15 of those pounds I lost during the 2-week pre-op diet. So was it like 15? It was between 12 and 15 pounds I lost with the pre-op diet. So my current weight as of today, as of the day that I am recording, 1 week post-op, my current weight is 270.7 pounds. So yeah, I'm excited about 10 pounds that I've lost since surgery day within this week, and I'm excited for what's to come. I will post some pictures or put some pictures of the screen, how it looks, and throughout my journey. But yeah, so I'll post some pictures and things like that of my journey, or maybe even insert some videos that I've been documenting myself along the way. It really just depends on how I feel while I'm editing. And I feel like, okay, I could do like all videos about this, about my journey, but I feel like my real listeners, the ones who listen to my podcast, the ones who watch me on YouTube, or listening to me on YouTube and all of that, like, y'all the real ones. Y'all are the ones who are actually taking the time to listen and hear about my experiences. So I said, this is the way that I feel like it's going to be best, for our community, just to keep our information here. I mean, I may or may not post stuff on like Facebook or Instagram or whatever, but I feel like here is like, if you really care and you care to listen, like, you deserve this information. You deserve the information that I am providing, period. That's how I feel about it. I mean, may or may not be the right way to think about it, but I think this is the best for me. That is the most comfortable for me, to still get the word out there, but still do it in a place where I feel like I'm not just expressing everything to the world all willy-nilly, right? It's the people who take the time to be here, which I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all so much. Yeah, so that is my gastric sleeve update, 1 week post-op. I may not do weekly, or I may do weekly updates on my podcast. It really just depends on how things go, and good or bad, I'm gonna let y'all know. I know there's stalls that's gonna happen. I know all that, and I'm not like in a rush. I know that things are going to progress exactly how it's supposed to, and the weight will come off eventually. My goal is to stick to the behaviors, to be committed to the process, and that's where I'm at with it. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. Let me know what's your favorite part or anything that resonated with you. If you're on a sleeve journey, gastric bypass, a weight loss journey, whatever, just let me know where you are in your progress. Let me know where you are in the process, and let me know if you have any questions for me or anything that I didn't touch on that you want to know about, because I know I was looking for the answers to my questions wherever I can. And I'm going to give you the real. So you ask me, I'm going to tell you, okay? If you've gotten to this point of the episode, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe for me if you're on YouTube. Rate me on Apple Podcasts if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. And I appreciate each and every one of you, and I don't take any listener for granted. Trust and believe that. All right. Well, I'm going to get out of here. It's your girl, Melissa. And remember to adjust your crown, walk in your purpose, and always remember who you are. Catch you later. Hey, you guys, it's your girl, Melissa, host of Queen Convos, Life Goals for the Queen in You. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please feel free. And matter of fact, go ahead and do your girl a favor and like, comment, subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please go ahead and rate and review. I love you guys so much for listening, and I will see you later.